You already know who it is. No need for introductions. I have all my thoughts written out on a Google Doc, so I'm going to be reading from that a lot. So if you see me looking over there, I'm reading from a script. And it's all my thoughts collectively put onto a page because I can't think off the top of my head because I have ADHD. I think. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed. Anyways, I have played this game for 8 years, and I've made content for this game for 7 years. I am a member of the Critical Ops Creator Program, and also a member of a couple testing groups for features to be added to the Critical Ops beta. As a member of the Critical Ops Creator Program, I have been given a platform to discuss topics about Critical Ops to not only the majority of the player base, but to the developers as well. I wanted everyone to hear what I have to say, so I will be posting this video in every channel I can to open up the discussion about the current state of Critical Ops. So to begin the discussion, I believe that a ranked mode in any competitive game is crucial to the life and longevity of the game and its player base. Because competitive games revolve around its ranked game modes, if this game mode fails, then there is no other reason for the players to continue playing that game. And Critical Ops, a competitive game, is no different from Counter-Strike, Rainbow Six Siege, or Rocket League, which also feature competitive ranked game modes. Which is why I believe that the ranked game mode in Critical Ops is the reason why so many players are leaving the game. There are 3 main reasons why the ranked game mode is failing in Critical Ops, and these reasons are coming directly from the players' feedback that I have received and many other creators in the creator program have also received. What I want to accomplish in this video is to highlight the reasons why players are leaving the ranked game mode and provide solutions to alleviate these problems and improve the overall gameplay experience. Are these solutions 100% flawless? No. Are these solutions the exact answer to the current problems? No. The solutions that are presented in this video should be used as a starting point, so that there can be discussions that can bring us to a more idealistic solution for the game moving forward. The first reason that players are leaving the ranked mode in Critical Ops is because of cheaters. There are 2 parts to this section, which include the removal and the identification of cheaters. There are 2 ways cheaters can be removed from the game: by the game's anti-cheat, which most players say doesn't detect cheaters fast enough or even at all, and the manual reporting system, which is the basis for my solution to removing cheaters. I believe this system to be easier to work with than the anti-cheat software, as it takes more time to develop proper cheat detection. However, the current manual reporting system is fundamentally backwards. It relies on the legit players to prove that one player is cheating. It is also harder to collect evidence if the cheater is on the other team, since the video is from the perspective of the legit player 99% of the time. And out of all the times I've reported a cheater manually, I've only had one cheater in my team, and I was able to catch them in the act. There is also the fear that whoever is reviewing the video cannot effectively determine if the player is cheating or not from the player's perspective. So instead of making the legit players prove that there's one player cheating, let's make the reported cheating player prove they are not cheating. The first part of my solution to the cheaters is to revamp the reporting system so it puts all of the pressure of proving legitimacy on the reported player. The idea is, if a player is reported for cheating, they receive 1 tally mark on their profile. Once a player receives a tally mark, there is a countdown that starts at 7 days. If a player receives 10 tally marks before the 7 days are up, their account is temporarily banned for 24 hours. If not, then all the tally marks are reset. Also, each tally mark cannot come from the same player, so you can't report a player more than once. If a player feels like they have been unfairly banned, they can submit a ban removal request in the support page. The only time it is not approved is when the player is banned by the system or there is evidence to suggest denial. Once the request has been accepted, that account is then unbanned and the player has 24 hours to record themselves playing a full ranked match and upload it to YouTube unlisted and post the link into the same message thread as the ban removal request. If there is no evidence to suggest that the player is cheating, then their account remains unbanned. If they fail to respond or do not request a ban removal in the 24-hour time frame, then the account is permanently banned. This not only puts pressure on the reported player, but also attacks the cheating player's psychology, because a cheating player knows they were cheating, and if they see their account is banned, they would rather create another account instead of trying to unban the original one, because it's faster. Now, while removing cheaters is one thing, identifying cheating players is much different. Now, something that I have never mentioned on this channel or anywhere in the Critical Ops community for reasons that I will keep to myself is the fact that I have grown up watching Counter-Strike Overwatch videos on YouTube. Simply put, Counter-Strike Overwatch was a system where players at a certain skill level can review video demos of different players who were reported for cheating by other players. Now, I'm not saying that system is perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but watching those videos has not only helped me identify how cheaters play, but what their accounts can look like. The best way to determine a player could be cheating is by looking at their account stats, specifically their ranked stats. Now, while looking at a player's stats should not be the deciding factor for if a player is cheating or not, there are certain patterns that can lead to suspicion. At the time this video is posted, Critical Ops has disabled the ability to view player stats during a ranked match and has been disabled for quite some time. I believe this is a mistake. If you believe a player is cheating, you can't look at their stats and say for certain that they are cheating until the end of the match, which is when the stats are available. At that point, it's already too late because you are unable to report players after a ranked game is finished. So the final part to my solution for cheaters is to enable the ability to view player stats during a ranked match, as well as adding 2 more stat lines to improve the clarity of player performance. The 2 stats that I would like to see added are headshot percentage and ADR. ADR is the average damage per round, which can determine how much impact a player has in their games based on damage done to enemy players, excluding team damage. Having player stats enabled, along with the proposed reporting system mentioned before, creates an ideal system that gets cheating players out of games faster than what is currently possible with the current manual reporting system. This also has the potential to create a trust system between the players that have been reported for cheating but have been found innocent, so you know they're legit. And if players continue to cheat in this game by creating new accounts, then they will be even easier to spot in the future. Now, cheating players are probably the biggest problem most players have with ranked, but it's not the only problem. The second reason that players are leaving the ranked mode in Critical Ops is because of the server issues that most players seem to experience. The server issues in question are rubber banding, even with good connection quality, consistent packet loss, even with good connection quality, and an increase in server ping. Now, disclaimer, I know next to nothing about server code or how server code is written. I am just speaking from my own personal experience. I have also experienced these problems, and it took me connecting my tablet to a second router that is connected to my main router via an Ethernet cable to relieve the rubber banding and the constant packet loss issues. But I can remember a time where I've had the same amount of devices connected to the main server and have never run into the issues that are plaguing the game today. You could go and watch any of my old gameplay videos from 2 years ago, and you can just see what I'm talking about. Over time, as the game has been getting updated, the servers seem to have been getting worse and worse, to the point where it is now. If I had to take a guess on what is happening, I think the server issues might be coming from the servers sending more and more data as the game keeps getting updated, which causes some networks to become bottlenecked. I say this because of 2 things: the ping increase and the gameplay quality. Over the past 2 years, I've noticed the ping has slowly been increasing little by little. Around 2 years ago, I would usually get around 20 ping in US servers. Nowadays, I'm only getting 35 to 40. In the same time period, I hardly noticed myself rubber banding during my games. Nowadays, I rubber band within seconds of joining a TDM. Now, when I had my tablet connected to my main router, I was having those rubber banding and packet loss issues. But once I bought my second router to create a second network just for my tablet, I still had 35 ping, but the rubber banding and the constant packet loss vanished. This tells me that the amount of data being sent from Critical Ops servers to the device you're playing on is increasing over time after each update. And unless you have a separate router to connect to or mobile data, you're going to experience connectivity issues. My solution to these server issues would be to double check the amount of data that is being sent from the servers to the player's mobile device and try to optimize it. Like I've said before, I don't know enough about server coding to be able to come up with a better, more concise solution. But with the observations that I have gathered with my personal experience and from other players' experience, this is what I've come up with. I can't do any better than that. The third and final reason why players are leaving the ranked mode in Critical Ops is because of the bot players that are created from the current rating system. Bot players are just another term to describe unintentionally boosted players that are created due to the high performance of their teammates. The last time the rating system was updated was at the introduction of ranked seasons over 6 years ago. The way the rating system works now is by taking the average rating of both teams and comparing them. The team with the lower average rating will receive more rating if they win and lose less rating if they lose. The opposite is true for the higher rated team, and every player on both teams receives the same amount of rating respectively. So if your team wins, then every single player on that team will receive the same amount of elo. And if your team loses, your teammates will lose the same amount of elo. Even though this was supposed to get rid of the old system, which only counted wins and losses, it didn't change anything. It still is the same system as before, it just has numbers attached to it. This system does not take into account the individual player's performance and does not properly distribute players into their appropriate rank, putting lower skilled players into higher skilled lobbies, making a lot of players upset and causing toxicity within the match. My solution for the bot player problem is to introduce a new rating system that distributes the appropriate amount of rating to each player based on their current rating and their overall performance. The new rating system should first calculate the average rating between all players and compare it with each player's individual rating. If the player's rating is lower than the lobby's average rating, they will receive more rating at the end of the match compared to their teammate who has a higher rating than them. At the end of the match, the rating system will look at each player's position on the scoreboard and give each player a bonus or reduction to the amount of rating they receive. If a player top frags on the winning team, they will receive a 50% bonus to the amount of rating they will earn. If a player bottom frags, they receive a 50% reduction to the rating they will earn. The mid frag or third spot on the scoreboard will get no bonus, and the players in between top and bottom frag and mid frag will get a 25% bonus or reduction respectively. The losing team is the inverted opposite of the winning team, where if you top frag, you lose 50% less rating, and if you bottom frag, you lose 50% more rating, and so on. As a precaution, this system will also have a maximum rating cap of 25 and a minimum rating cap of 5. So this more clearly defines the amount of rating a player can gain or lose within one match. With this system in place, players can potentially be distributed into their appropriate ranks and don't have to worry about players being unintentionally boosted and can avoid toxicity that comes from these games. And also, something to add to this as well is to reset ranks. Same with how they had to reset ranks when they introduced ranked seasons, they had to do the same thing here. Now, as I have said in the beginning of this video, I know these solutions are not 100% flawless, nor are they the exact answer to the problems addressed in this video. What I wanted to do is create a starting point, a place where we can begin to generate ideas from, to be able to bring back players to the game and get them back into the ranked game mode. I want to see this game succeed, and I want nothing but the best for this game. These solutions are a reflection of these feelings, and I wanted to share them with everyone, including the developers, in the hopes of getting the ball rolling to bringing this game back from the brink of death. So I am going to leave this video with a warning. The end of Critical Ops as a competitive game and turning into a cash cow is rapidly approaching. I have been on this platform for a long time and have built a strong community of dedicated players. I would hate to see this game fail and its player base crumble into dust, all because the developers decided to focus on the monetary aspect of this game. While I understand that the revenue needs to be generated for a free-to-play game, nobody is going to buy anything from your game if it is not worth playing in the first place. The solutions I have offered are starting points for the developers to work off of to make this game worth playing again. If nothing is done, then this game is done. You can polish a ball of crap all you want, but at the end of the day, it's still a ball of crap. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe. Bye-bye.